Have you ever been to a festival all about fungus? Well, if not, then Cordova is the place to be beginning September. And here is Carol Hernley. She's one of the founders of the Cordova Fungus Festival. She will tell you a little bit about what it is.
Hi! The Fungus Festival got started years ago when three of us put our heads together and decided that the state of Alaska needs to have some sort of a mushroom festival. So we're proud to announce that Cordova was the very first to go ahead and get a festival started. We wanted to have a unique name, so we picked Fungus Festival rather than Mushroom anything, just to be a little different than the rest of the world. The Fungus Festival has something for everyone. It's really an exciting series of events, and it kicks off with the display tables that are usually set up over at the Forest Service, and we have hundreds and hundreds of local specimens identified and what their purposes are, if you can eat them, they have a medicinal value, you can tint or dye with them, etc. The displays are quite extensive. And in past years, we've even had a gentleman that came up from University of Washington to help us identify our local species. It's called a myco-blitz when you send the whole town out looking for the various species you have in your area. The crown jewel of the Fungus Festival is our dinner. We bring a chef in. Last year, we brought a chef in from California, a Soma chef. And he put on, a 5 or 6 course dinner. Every course featured mushrooms. And we had a live band playing there, games playing, contests. We had just lots of cool things to do, buy, look at during the dinner. And it was quite a bit of fun. So it's so popular it sells out almost immediately. As soon as the tickets hit the street, they're gone. So that is probably our most popular event and definitely well attended. Throughout the festival, we have any number of classes or workshops. We've got making your own mushroom logs. We have lichen hikes and identification, introduction to foraging. We have mushroom macro photography. We have dyeing and tinting with mushrooms and lichens. We have other art events, sometimes painting and wood burning, medicinal mushrooms, all sorts of different classes. There definitely is something for everybody.
Who are some of the famous or well-known people that come to help do workshops?
Every year we have a different assortment of famous and semi-famous people that come and visit us during Fungus Fest. A couple of our favorites that have come 2 and 3 times respectively are Dr. Steve Trudell, who's an author and a researcher, and he was the fellow largely responsible for putting a name to all of our more obscure fungal species, kind of leader of the myco-blitz. Another of our favorite people is Dorothy Beebe. She's an illustrator for several different mushroom tinting and dyeing books, and she often leads workshops, and she's just great fun to have, and we've had her 3 years standing. But at any rate, there's a lot of authors that come to these things, and too numerous to mention, but every year we have 2 or 3 important people that show up to help us put on Fungus Fest.
Since Cordova is the first town to start the Fungus Festival, what other towns now have one?
Well, we've been very flattered that other towns have wanted to copy what we've done, and they have created mushroom festivals of their own. Girdwood and Petersburg, as well as the Kenai Soldotna clubs, have all created various types of mushroom festivals in their towns.
Who were the other 2 founders, and what made you guys come up with this idea?
That would be Aaron Cooper and Alan Marquette. Alan is an educator working for our local science center, and they partnered with the Forest Service, who Aaron Cooper works for, and at that time I was sort of freelancing. But between the 3 of us, we decided that somebody needed to start a mushroom festival, so it might as well be us.
What is your favorite class or workshop?
This is going to be totally self-centered, but my favorite class or workshop is one I taught last year. I've gotten into doing research on how to propagate wild mushrooms, and one of the classes I taught helped other people to help me go and increase numbers of particular wild mushrooms in our area that have been distressed. Our special project was the blue chanterelle, which is the Polyozellis multiplex.
How many days long does the Fungus Festival last?
Our very first festival was about 5 days long. The one we had last Labor Day went almost 2 weeks, so it's gotten a little longer every year.
Is this mostly for adults, or are there some kid workshops?
We have events for both kids and adults. One of the special things we do in regards to kids are set up these educational displays over at the Forest Service, and we have all of the different grades of the local grade school come over, class by class, and go through the educational displays. The kids learn all the different uses for mushrooms. That goes way beyond just eating them. Locally, we have a large group of artists that do tinting and dyeing with fungus, and we also have a number of people that are knowledgeable about medicinal mushrooms and their uses. You can do art with mushrooms. The possibilities are as far as your imagination can go. So the kids come over and they have a very interesting hands-on experience, including touching, tasting, smelling, and working with identification of mushrooms. I think they have just about as much fun as we do.